Chapter 2. When I figured that enough time had passed for everyone to have left school, I flopped my hair back over my forehead and left the bathroom, hurrying to the doors that led to the student parking lot. Everything seemed all clear. There was just some random kid wearing those seriously unattractive gang wannabe baggy pants, cutting across the far end of the lot. Keeping his pants from falling down as he walked was taking all his concentration. He wouldn't even notice me. I gritted my teeth against the throbbing pain in my head and bolted out the door, heading straight for my little bug. The moment I stepped outside, the sun began to batter me. I mean, it wasn't a particularly sunny day. There was plenty of those big, puffy clouds that looked so pretty in pictures floating around the sky, semi-blocking the sun. But that didn't matter. I had to squint my eyes painfully and hold my hand up as a make-believe sunblock against even that intermittent light. I guess it was because I was focusing so hard on the pain the ordinary sunlight was causing me that I didn't notice the truck until it squealed to a stop in front of me. "Hey, Zoe, didn't you get my message?" Oh, crap. It was Heath. I glanced up, looking at him from between my fingers, like I was watching one of those stupid slasher movies. He was sitting on the open tailgate of his friend Dustin's pickup truck. Over his shoulder I could see into the cab of the truck, where Dustin and his brother Drew were doing what they were usually doing, wrestling around and arguing over God only knows what stupid boy thing. Thankfully, they were ignoring me. I glanced back at Heath and sighed. He had a beer in his hand and a goofy grin on his face. Momentarily forgetting that I'd just been marked and was destined to become an outcast, blood-sucking monster, I scowled at Heath. "You're drinking at school. You crazy?" His little boy grin got bigger. "Yes, I am crazy. 'Bout you, baby." I shook my head while I turned my back to him, opening the creaky door to my bug and shoving my books and backpack into the passenger seat. "Why aren't you guys at football practice?" I said, still keeping my face angled away from him. "Didn't you hear? We got the day off because of the ass-kicking we gave Union on Friday." Dustin and Drew, who must have been kind of paying attention to Heath and me after all, did a couple of karaoke woohoo and yeah yells from inside the truck. No, I must have missed the announcement. I've been busy today, big geometry test tomorrow. I tried to sound normal and nonchalant. Then I coughed and added, "Plus, I'm getting a crappy cold." "Zoe, really? Are you pissed or something? Like, did Kayla say some shit about the party? I didn't really cheat on you." Huh? Kayla had not said one solitary word about Heath cheating on me. Like a moron, I forgot, temporarily, about my new mark. My head snapped around so I could glare at him. "What did you do, Heath?" "So, me? I wouldn't." But his innocent act and his excuses faded into an unattractive, open-mouthed look of shock when he caught sight of my mark. "What the—" he started to say, but I cut him off. "Shh!" I jerked my head in the direction of the still clueless Dustin and Drew, who were now singing at the top of their totally tone-deaf lungs to the latest Toby Keith CD. Heath's eyes were still wide and shocked, but he lowered his voice. "Is that some kind of makeup thing you're doing for drama class?" "No," I whispered. "It's not." "But you can't be marked. We're going out." "We are not going out." And just like that, my semi-reprieve from coughing ended. I practically doubled over, hacking a seriously nasty, phlegmy cough. "Hey, Zoe!" Dustin called from the cab. "You gotta lay off those cigarettes." "Yeah, you sound like you're gonna cough up a lung or something," Drew said. "Dude, leave her alone. She don't smoke. She's a vampire." "Great. Wonderful." Heath, with his usual total and complete lack of anything resembling good sense, thought he was actually standing up for me as he yelled at his friends, who instantly stuck their heads out of the open windows and gawked at me like I was a science experiment.
"Well, shit, so he's a fucking freak," Drew said.
Drew's insensitive words made the anger that had been simmering somewhere inside my chest ever since Kayla had cringed from me bubble up and boil over. Ignoring the pain the sun caused me, I stared straight at Drew, meeting his eyes. "Shut the hell up. I've had a really bad day, and I do not need this crap from you." I paused to look from the now wide-eyed and silent Drew to Dustin and added, "Or you." And as I kept eye contact with Dustin, I realized something. Something that shocked and weirdly excited me. Dustin looked scared. Really scared. I glared back at Drew. He looked scared too. Then I felt it. A tingling sensation that crawled over my skin and made my new mark burn. Power. I felt power. "So? What the fuck?" Heath's voice broke my attention and pulled my gaze from the brothers. "We're out of here," Dustin said, throwing the truck into gear and stepping on the gas. The pickup lurched forward, causing Heath to lose his balance and slide with a windmill of arms and flying beer onto the blacktop of the parking lot. Automatically, I rushed forward. "Are you okay?" Heath was on his hands and knees, and I bent down to help pull him to his feet. Then I smelled it. Something smelled amazing. Hot and sweet and delicious. Was Heath wearing new cologne? One of those weird pheromone things that are supposed to attract women like a big genetically engineered bug zapper? I didn't realize how close I was to him until he stood up straight, and our bodies were almost pressed together. He looked down at me, a question in his eyes. I didn't back away from him. I should have. I would have before. But not now. Not today. "So?" he said softly, his voice deep and husky. "You smell really good," I couldn't stop myself from saying. My heart was pounding so loud that I could hear its echo in my throbbing temples. "Zoe, I've really missed you. We need to get back together. You know I really love you." He reached up to touch my face, and both of us noticed the blood that smeared the palm of his hand. "Ah, shit. I guess I..." His voice closed off when he glanced at my face. I could only imagine what I must look like, with my face all white, my new mark blazingly outlined in sapphire blue, and my eyes staring at the blood on his hand. I couldn't move. I couldn't look away. I want, I whispered. I want. What did I want? I couldn't put it into words. No, that wasn't it. I wouldn't put it into words. Wouldn't say aloud the overwhelming surge of white-hot desire that was trying to drown me. And it wasn't because Heath was standing so near. He'd been close to me before. Hell, we'd been making out for a year. But it never made me feel like this. Nothing ever like this. I bit my lip and moaned. The pickup truck squealed to a halt, fishtailing beside us. Drew jumped out and grabbed Heath around the waist and jerked him backward into the cab of the truck. "Knock it off! I'm talking to Zoe!" Heath tried to struggle against Drew, but the kid was Broken Arrow's senior linebacker and truly ginormous. Dustin reached around them and slammed the door to the truck. "Leave him alone, you freak!" Drew yelled at me as Dustin floored the truck, and this time they really did speed off. I got into my bug. My hands were shaking so hard I had to try 3 times before I got the engine started. Just get home. Just Get home. I said the words over and over between wrenching coughs as I drove. I wouldn't think about what had just happened. I couldn't think about what had just happened. The drive home took 15 minutes, but it seemed to pass in the blink of an eye. Too soon, I was sitting in the driveway, trying to get ready for the scene I knew, sure as lightning follows thunder, was waiting inside for me. Why had I been so eager to get here? I suppose I hadn't technically been all that eager. I suppose I'd just been escaping from what had happened in the parking lot with Heath. No, I wasn't going to think about that now. And anyway, there was probably some kind of rational explanation for everything. A rational and simple explanation. Dustin and Drew were retards. Totally immature beer brains. I hadn't used a creepy new power to intimidate them. They'd just been freaked that I'd been marked. That was it. I mean, people were scared of vampires. But I'm not a vampire, I said. Then I coughed while I remembered how hypnotically beautiful Heath's blood had been, and the rush of desire I'd felt for it. Not Heath, but Heath's blood. No, blood was not beautiful or desirable. I must be in shock. That's it. That had to be it. I was in shock and not thinking clearly. Okay. Absently, I touched my forehead. It had stopped burning, but it still felt different. I coughed for the zillionth time. Fine. I wouldn't think about Heath, but I couldn't deny it anymore. I felt different. My skin was ultra-sensitive, my chest hurt, and even though I had my cool Maui Jim sunglasses on, my eyes kept tearing up painfully. I'm dying, I moaned, and then promptly clamped my lips shut. I might actually be dying. I glanced up at the big brick house that after 3 years still didn't seem like home. Get it over with. Just get it over with. At least my sister wouldn't be home yet. Cheerleading practice. Hopefully the troll would be totally hypnotized by his new Delta Force Black Hawk Down video game. Ew. I might have Mom to myself. Maybe she would understand. Maybe she would know what to do. Ah, hell. I was 16 years old, but I suddenly realized that I wanted nothing as much as I wanted my mom. Please let her understand. I whispered a simple prayer to whatever god or goddess might be listening to me. As usual, I went in through the garage. I walked down the hall to my room and dumped my geometry book, purse, and backpack on my bed. Then I took a deep breath and headed, a little shakily, to find my mom. She was in the family room, curled up on the edge of the couch, sipping a cup of coffee and reading Chicken Soup for a Woman's Soul. She looked so normal, so much like she used to look, except that she used to read exotic romances and actually wear makeup. Both were things her new husband didn't allow. What a turd. Mom? She didn't look up at me. I swallowed hard. Mama? I used the name I used to call her, back in the days before she married John. I need your help. I don't know whether it was the unexpected use of Mama, or something in my voice touched an old piece of mom intuition she still had somewhere inside her, but the eyes she lifted immediately from the book were soft and filled with concern. What is it, baby? She began, and then her words seemed to freeze on her lips as her eyes found the mark on my forehead. Oh, God! What have you done now?